Greetings, family and friends, and welcome to another episode of Energy Transfer Live. All right, um, what's today? Today's the 7th of May, right? 7th of May, and I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be able to provide you guys with a live stream today. Um, okay, wonderful. Thank you for letting me know that you can hear me. Like I said, I'm pleased and I'm privileged and I'm blessed. What's going on, my son? What's going on, boy? Yeah, I'm glad to be able to provide you guys with a live today. Today is Wednesday. Monday, Monday was an all-day event at the cancer center. I was there till about eight, 8 o'clock. Um, I was the last person to leave there, so it was a long day. So I wasn't able to provide no live Monday, right? And the Friday before that, I wasn't feeling well. Last week, to be honest with you, I was not feeling as good as I'm feeling this week. So, you know, I'm glad that I took the time to make sure that I'm okay. And that's very important, obviously. Is to make sure that you're not over stressing yourself or over exerting yourself. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm feeling a lot better than I was a week ago or a week before because before I come on here and do this podcast with you guys, I usually need a rest. I usually need to rest, hour or so. I usually need a nap before it's time for me to do my podcast. And this week, last week, even though I wasn't feeling well, and I didn't need a nap. I didn't need a rest period, and that's a very good thing because that just shows how my body is responding to rehabbing, and that just shows how much better I'm feeling, how stronger I'm getting. You know what I'm saying? That I don't even need a nap during the day because I usually automatically I'd have to have a nap during the day, regardless if I was doing this live or not. But because I'm gonna sit on here for an hour and talk to you guys, like that takes a lot of energy sometimes, and I usually need a nap. But today, last couple of days, I'm thankful that my energy has been up, and there was no need for a nap either today, yesterday, or the past couple of days. So that's a beautiful thing, and I'm pleased and I'm happy about that because, like I said, that just shows how the body is adjusting and how over time, you know you feel better. And I am an example of what happens. One of the purpose of this channel is to show recovery from cancer and show how it goes, what you have to deal with, the difficulties. And this is a blessing, seeing as though I'm going into this bone marrow transplant next Wednesday, guys. Next Wednesday I'll be doing a bone marrow transplant on the 14th. So it might seem like a long time to wait, a month or 2 months ago, but it's here. It literally is here. It's a week away. Next Wednesday, I go into the hospital for a bone marrow transplant. So I'm super hyped about it. Um, Crazy hyped about it because this is what I've been waiting for to change my life. So blessed to be able to provide a live for you guys today. Because like I said, whether it be getting treatment till 8 o'clock at night, or whether it be not feeling well, sometimes I gotta postpone some of these episodes, just to make sure my health is okay, because that's the most important thing. So, um, let's see what we're gonna talk about today. Last week, I had an appointment with a gastro doctor, right, with my gastro, because during my time in the hospital, I had issues with my stomach. I had severe stomach pain, and I was taking pain medication 3, 4 times a day. I used to wake up in the middle of the night reaching for my pain medication. You know what I'm saying? Because the stomach pain and stomach cramping was so severe. But Over time, again, the cramping is not as severe, and I'm taking my pain medication lesser and lesser, not as often. So that's a great thing. So I had to do a follow up with my gastro from being in the hospital, and it was a good visit because, for one, there is there is no real dire emergency at the moment. It's just the pains that I'm still experiencing. So the plan is to do a stomach scan to see what has changed between, I think February was the last time I did a stomach scan, and now to see what's changed, to see, basically get a new baseline and to kind of see, target exactly like where the pain is coming from. And, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, get a new baseline of knowing what's going on inside your body. Um, so that's what I had to go there for, to just get a checkup because of that. Now, including that fact, I have to get a checkup because getting prepared for this bone marrow transplant, they got to make sure everything is running okay. So I also did it was a sonogram. I did a scan. I had to go back to the hospital. So last week was crazy. Last week was one of them days where, I mean, one of those weeks where it's 4 days at the cancer center, like almost every day. So, but this visit was actually at the hospital. These two visits were at the hospital. So I had to get my heart checked out. Right, I had to get sonogram. I had to get some pictures taken to make sure that the heart is running effectively. I even did an EKG today when I went to the cancer center, just to make sure everything is going well, because we don't want any kind of side effects. We don't want to go into this bone marrow transplant with any issues. And speaking of issues, at the visit today, at my visit today, I actually saw my doctor, and might be a slight issue. No, might be there is an issue with my liver enzymes. Right, my liver is producing one or two proteins. These are the amount of enzymes producing is kind of high, and um, with that production of enzymes, it signals inflammation in the liver, and that was identified in my blood analysis. And this is one of the reasons why it's so important to get a blood test. Y'all always gonna hear me advocate. Go get y'all, you know what I'm saying, get your checkup one, twice a year, get your blood work done, because from me doing blood work, I mean, I do blood work 3 times a week. So that's a hell of a track of what's going on inside my body. But from doing that blood work, I'm able to see what's going on. The doctor's able to see what's going on. And for the past 2 weeks, there's been an increase in this enzyme in my liver. And because of that, um, there's a slight concern, right? There's a slight concern that cancer might be coming back, because in December, when I was previously diagnosed again, there was also a spike in my liver, and cancer. You know what I'm saying, is in my liver, and the cancer has been in my liver ever since my first incident back in 2021. It was liver, kidney, pancreas. It was everywhere, 9 places to be exact, but specifically liver, kidney, pancreas. So the liver, for some reason, is a big signal for me that something might be off, imbalanced, or not working properly. Right. So that's one of my big signals. So December, when I was diagnosed again with cancer, with lymphoma did come back. My liver enzyme was elevated. So now again, um, today my doctor informed me that there's an increase in my liver enzymes, and um, it might be, something going on. So right now they are rushing. Right now I just got a call Saturday. I got scheduled for a PET scan that I have to do, and remember, a PET scan scans the body for cancerous cells. That's the best scan that you can that you can do. The best test really that you can do is a PET scan actually looks at your body from, I think, the neck or head to toe to see inside the body to identify exactly if there's any cancerous cells. And one of the things is before you actually the day before the PET scan, you are not supposed to have no carbs because sugar in your body sends the same signal or appear the same as cancer does. So if I eliminate any kind of sugar, any carbs, anything like that from my body the day before, and then the day of the PET scan, anything that pops up on the screen would be cancer because of, you know what I'm saying, of how they identify it. But one of the key things is no sugar because they both kind of like send the same signals on the scanner. So Saturday, I'm scheduled for a PET scan again, and I just did a PET scan 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and that was to make sure, right? That was to make sure that there is no cancer in my body. I did a PET scan and I did a bone marrow biopsy within the last month to make sure there's no cancer, and I was good. But for the past 2 weeks, the elevated enzymes in my liver is signaling that there could be a problem again. You know what I'm saying the cancer could be on its way back to infecting my body. So prayerfully, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, it's not cancer. And reason for this also could be pills that I'm taking, because some of the pills that I'm taking directly affect my liver. And some of the pills that I'm also taking is to counteract that impact on the liver. And also when you take in the amount of pills that I do, because I take at least about 20 pills a day, um, it's a lot of pills. So even if it's not the one that directly affects the liver, the fact that I'm taking that many pills every day for the past, I don't know, month and a half or so could be the reason why my liver is acting up. So, as of today, I got to increase my water intake. You know what I'm saying? I got to pump it up a couple notches to make sure that it's not the amount of pills that I'm taking, and try to identify exactly what the problem is. I don't I don't remember doing anything or eating or drinking anything. Alcohol, can affect your liver, but I don't drink anymore. It's been years since I drunk, and I couldn't tell you exactly what. I've eaten a normal regular meal for the past since I've been home, so it couldn't be the food that I'm eating. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping that it's the pills. I'm hoping it's the pills, and I just need to drink more water. You know what I'm saying, to help my kidney, to help my liver flush everything out. But that is a concern, and because of that concern, because of this kidney issue, now I am going into this bone marrow transplant. I was eligible for a new study, this new study on therapy that goes along with the bone marrow transplant to reduce I forgot what it's called, but the host versus donor this complications where the new, because this I'm going for a bone marrow transplant, so I'm replacing my own bone marrow with somebody else's. So there could be a chance of my body rejecting the donor cell or the donor cell attacking my own organs. Graft versus host disease, right? So I was in a program where they were gonna give me a particular a drug, you know what I'm saying, drug program that I was supposed to go in that's supposed to help this graft versus host disease situation. But because of my enzymes, because of my liver not processing well, um, I'm not eligible for that program anymore. So it's kind of, you know in my mind it's kind of a setback, but my doctor, advised me that even though I'm not eligible for that new um not new program, that new therapy that's going on, there's still other therapies that help with the graft versus host disease. So midway, I think about a week after I get the new bone marrow in my body, they're going to start administering a drug that's supposed to help with help with the rejection. You know what I'm saying? That it doesn't happen. That, you know what I'm saying, lessen the chance of it happening. So, in this program that I'm still eligible for, you're able to adjust the amount of medication is given. The one that I'm no longer that I can no longer do is not that adjustable. So this could be a blessing in disguise, you know what I'm saying? Due to the fact that even when I did my first chemotherapy in 2021, my liver also, like I said, was messing up, and they had to adjust the chemotherapy every time I did it. I had 6 treatments. I only did 5, but he had to adjust the chemo treatment every time because my liver was not having it, right? So maybe in this situation, because of previous reactions, maybe being able to adjust, certain drugs is a benefit. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm looking at it. So might not be eligible for the original one, which is less medication, right? Less medication, and it's a new study, so I'm assuming they're getting good results. So it's less medication, and I'm assuming that, like I said, it's good results. But being able to adjust the medication is beneficial to me in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? Because I always tell y'all, cancer affects everybody differently. Chemotherapy affects everybody differently. You know what I'm saying? So what might work good for somebody else, it can totally like not help you at all, or even hinder, you know what I'm saying, your healing process or whatever it is that you're trying to do. So it's a lot going on, man. It's a lot going on. Within a couple of days, like things can really change, but we're still planning on moving forward with this bone marrow transplant, which is scheduled for next Wednesday. Yes, 7 days from now, I will be back in the hospital again for another month, um, getting this chemo. Because first I gotta get chemo, and if um if it is cancer, there is a plan to give me, you know what I'm saying, a totally different chemotherapy from what I did from the previous 2 that I did. But there is a plan to continue to move forward and to, you know what I'm saying, directly deal with the if there is cancer back in the liver again, you know what I'm saying, there is a plan. But we're still moving forward, you know what I'm saying, with the transplant regardless. It just might slow it down a little bit, but next Thursday I will be back in the hospital for about a month, going through the chemo in the beginning to wipe out my cells to make room for the donor cells, and getting because I'm gonna get wiped out. So building back my cells, building back my immune system is why I'm going to be in the hospital for that long, because I'm gonna be on zero. And when you're on zero, you gotta get IV medication directly straight to you. You can't, pills is this not, you know what I'm saying, it's not time for pills. You have to actually get the IV, you know what I'm saying, pumped straight into your body, because the pills gonna take too long to kick in. So for those 3 weeks, I will be getting, you know what I'm saying, the key medication needed to keep my immune system running, you know what I'm saying, fighting off whatever it is. But I'm glad of how they do what they do. The transplant room is, it's a different area. It's sealed off, not sealed off, but it's to itself. They have their own way of making sure that there's no bacteria. All the air gets pulled out the room like all the time. You know what I'm saying? You can't have no. You can have a visitor, but everything is twice as strict as if I was going there for cancer treatment. Right, I have my own room. I have a single room to myself, um, and it's gonna be it's not gonna be long, but 3 weeks might seem long, but for somebody like me that's been in the hospital for so long, 3 weeks is gonna go by in a breeze. And for me, it's for me personally, it's being mentally strong, to continue the healing process, to continue doing everything I need to do. You know what I'm saying? Once that chemo hits, because it's gonna knock me down just like it did the previous time. So you know what I'm saying? It's mostly mental. This next month is gonna be all about, you know what I'm saying, mindset, preparation, and help. And getting help from my significant other that's gonna be there to make sure that I'm okay. And going into this, I can't. There's no outside food even after I finish the therapy. Even after I finish being in the hospital for 3 weeks, there's no outside food. Is you can't eat no leftovers. Can't eat no restaurant food. Like the only thing I could possibly eat from a restaurant is a pizza, and that pizza gotta go straight out the oven, straight into the box. Can't even get cut and come straight home. Otherwise, you can't leave any room for any kind of bacteria, any kind of infection build up to happen. So it's very, very tight. You have to be very careful the next 2 months really of how, I'm saying, I approach life and what I do. But, the end result is that once I do this bone marrow transplant, I won't have no more cancer. All right, I was originally diagnosed with three cancers in 2021: Waldenstrom lymphoma and um, leukemia receptors in my blood, which affect my rehab. So there's a lot to be thankful of. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna get fixed just by me getting the bone marrow transplant. Because once I get this new stem cell, these new cells that's coming into my body, it's gonna help my original cells fight the cancer cells. And that's the problem, because you're always gonna have cancer cells come and go, right? It's your ability for your body to fight them, right? So it's always happening. You know what I'm saying? The body is strong enough, you know what I'm saying, to maintain, clearing and killing and getting rid of waste. But sometimes, for whatever reason, the body gets complicated. It gets complicated, and your body's not able to get rid of all those cancer cells, and then they just start to accumulate. So that's the plan. Is that this new bone cells, bone marrow, stem cells will fix that problem that I have, which is, what I'm saying, the cancer. And the cancer is recurring, and I hope, like I said, that it's not trying to recur again because of my liver situation. But once I get this new bone marrow, I won't have no more problems like that. So I'm gonna take this time to talk about blood donations, right? If it wasn't for all the people that donated blood over, what I'm saying, the past since 2021, I would not be here today. Because cumulatively, my first experience with cancer in 2021, I needed over 80 blood transfusions, and my second encounter, I needed just about the same. So I'm at about 150 blood transfusions already. And so because I had a blood cancer, right, and the chemo attacked the blood cells in my bone marrow, so I'm not able to make cells. You know what I'm saying? So 3 times a week, I have to go to the cancer center to receive platelets and to receive blood. Sometimes not the blood, I only get like once a week, but um, the past 2 weeks, I have not needed blood every week. 1 week can go by where I don't need blood. And Monday, when I went to the cancer center, I got blood and I got platelets. Today, Wednesday, I was praying that I didn't need any, and I don't. I didn't have to stay at the cancer center till 8 o'clock because I'm getting transfused. But I know when I go back Friday, I will be getting some platelets at least, because right now I think I'm at 21,000. Once you go below 20,000, you automatically have to get a replacement, because um, by the time I get there the next or the following, you know what I'm saying, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, by the time I get there to Friday, I go from like 20,000 to like 10,000, 8,000 platelets. And that's because I don't have the ability to make those platelets because of the cancer and the chemo that I went through. So this is how important, this is how important blood donation is, to me personally and to everybody that's involved in my life, because I wouldn't be here if these wonderful people didn't take their time to donate blood, so I could still be alive to be, you know what I'm saying, be with my family and friends, and provide this live podcast to try to, encourage and show people, like, cancer, you know what I'm saying, you can come back from it. It's not the all end, you know what I'm saying? Just try to spread awareness through whatever my experiences are. So it's just it's a blessing to, like I said, I'm always gonna say that it's a blessing to be here. It's a blessing to be able to provide you with a live, because I'm telling you, man, it's crazy how things happen. You know what I'm saying? And it happened, and I'm not dwelling over anything. I just look forward to another day, and I just pray that everything works itself out. My mother always say things happen for a reason, so I'm just trying to continuously show up. Continuously show up, continuously be thankful for being woke on the next day, so I could continue living my life, and waiting for that fix that's gonna come, because once this is over, um I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself, but trust me, I'm gonna be like super productive, way much more than I was before. And I'm a busy guy, trust that. But to be honest with you, like, things happen for a reason. Because since 2021, I've slowed down, what I'm saying, on the things that I do on a year-to-year basis, because I was a guy that was always busy, never took a break. You know what I'm saying? Always working, always trying to get better at something. So if I didn't get sick, to be honest with you, I would not have taken a break. I would still be going at 150 miles an hour, still trying to do everything. You know what I'm saying? So I get to take a year or two off, or three or four. But last year, like I told you, I was gardening like crazy. You know what I'm saying? Testing my body to see what I can put myself through, being outside 6, 7 hours in the sun. While everybody else was inside under the air conditioner, I was outside in the sun last year for hours. Now, could that have caused my cancer to come back? I don't know. And I pray that's not the case, because the sun is the main source of energy. So I better not be allergic to the sun. You know what I'm saying? But, um, I was out there and I felt good. I felt good. I was getting in shape. You know what I'm saying? I thought that, everything was over. But guess what? I don't control everything, you know what I'm saying? And the cancer came back. So, this is why it's so important to always have an understanding of what's going on in your body. And the only way you can do that is from having blood work done, from getting the exam, and also being in tune with your body, knowing, why you were sick, you know what I'm saying, when you're sick, knowing, you know what I'm saying, the shots that you have taken or haven't taken, to have an idea, because you can't just always depend on a doctor to tell you what's wrong, or, like, what I'm saying, when something hurts. And I think that's the most important part about getting checked out. That's the most important part about um maintaining maintaining your schedule, is you want to know that something. First of all, the best way to defeat cancer is to target it at the earliest point. Earliest that you can find out about the cancer is the best results. The longer you're gonna live afterwards. You know what I'm saying? That's because once the cancer, you know what I'm saying, goes from one place in your body to the next, then it become harder to treat, right? So before you even feel the pain, because that's what's gonna come next. Because I'm trust me, I've experienced the pain. This specific area where I felt the pain, cancer was there. So even before you feel the pain, you can see the evidence of either the cancer developing or something that can become cancerous. So this is why blood work is so important, right? So last year, like I said, I was farming and everything, and towards the end of the year, I started feeling the pain. Did some did some scans, followed up with some doctors. It turned out cancer came back. So it's just part of the process. Part of the process is to maintain that balance with your doctor. Make sure you get checked up. Make sure you know what's going on in your body. That is very, very important. Like I said, before the pain, man, the only way that's your best option is to try to get to the cancer before, what I'm saying, you start feeling the pain from it. Because like I said, my liver enzymes are elevated, and based on previous cancer diagnosis, I also had an elevated liver enzyme. So me knowing my baseline, me knowing how my body reacts, me knowing what's going on is helping me deal with whatever comes. And it's also mental as well, because it's not like, oh, somebody just told me something I have no idea of why or where it came from. I follow up, I know what's going on, and it's like, okay, well, since this is wrong, then there's a plan to move forward, and this treatment is also available. You know what I'm saying? So, nothing is stopping. It's just slowing down a bit, maybe. You know what I'm saying? But nothing is stopping. Um, this is May. May is melanoma and skin cancer awareness month. So if while you're out there, make sure what I'm saying, you have on enough sunscreen. Make sure you don't overexpose yourself to the sun, because yeah. But I was outside, and that's another thing. If I was outside for numerous hours, then I probably should have, what I'm saying, been dealing with some kind of skin cancer. But like I said, I hope and I pray that me being outside is not why my cancer came back. I better not be the reason. I love being outside in the sun, right? But you know, it's a lot, man. It's a lot. And sometimes I do feel overwhelmed. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get up 3 times a week, go out here and stay for hours, get this blood, and do it again the next day, and keep. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you get overwhelmed and thinking, "Oh God, I gotta keep doing this shit." But you know what I'm saying? It only lasts for like maybe an hour or two. You know what I'm saying? Gotta stay positive, and you know what I'm saying. That's why it's good to have, what I'm saying, positivity around you. Because a lot of times when you in your funk, you don't get yourself out of it. It's the people around you that kind of build you back up. You know what I'm saying, and get you thinking about something else. Get your mind off what's going on in your body, and what I'm saying, what's going on around you. So, at times I do feel overwhelmed, but um, as I said, my body is getting stronger. You know what I'm saying? I rehab it, and it's not for me doing anything special. It's just time. You know what I'm saying? Like I always say, everybody's healing process is different. Some people will heal up in a week. Some people will take months, maybe even years. Maybe it never goes away, but you gotta find some kind of way to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? So having, having reasons, and I'm trying to recondition my mind for that. You know what I'm saying? Give myself new goals, right? And new things to look forward to after I get, after I get myself back, pretty much. Because I go in next Wednesday, I'm going to be in there for a month. So that's like the second week of June. It's going to take at least a month or two, hopefully not, maybe just a month, for me to get to where I am now, right? 6 weeks ago when I came out the hospital, I was dragging, I was lazy, I was slow, I didn't feel like doing anything. And you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I usually have to take a nap every day, and especially before I come do this live. But I didn't need a nap this week because my body is responding. I'm getting stronger. That's the most important thing, is like I'm getting stronger, and you know what I'm saying? Like I said, the body is doing its own thing. I'm not doing anything. I'm exercising, but that alone I think it's just time. It's just time. You know what I'm saying? The body takes to heal, and that's what's happening to me. And I'm saying that's why I feel so strong and so positive. Is because of the healing, and you know what I'm saying. I say to myself, this is what I realize: self actualizing, rehabbing is my superpower. Right, getting over things and coming back to fight again or for another at bat. That's my superpower. So I already see myself recovering. That's not even, you know what I'm saying. There's many complications that could happen with this bone marrow transplant, but I'm looking past that and trying to, you know what I'm saying, see what's going on and try to, have an idea of what I want to be doing with myself in July. By that time, I should be at least back to where I am now. You know what I'm saying, with a new immune system. So I'll be in an even better place, right? So it's just, looking forward. You know what I'm saying, to see, to have an idea and have hopes and have dreams. You know what I'm saying, of what you want to accomplish. Because you gotta have some kind of drive, man. Something got to keep you going. Something got to keep you going. And my family is my biggest motivation at the moment. You know what I'm saying? Besides me giving back, besides me um trying to besides me giving back. Yo, what's going on, Junior? Yeah, man, blessings, man. Besides me giving back, because this is why I'm doing this, and it's to give back. It's to spread the awareness, because before I got cancer, I never knew how important blood was to cancer patients. And once I realized that, I was like, if anything, because I always say to myself, why me? You know what I'm saying? Not why me, like why I got cancer, but why me? Like, so much was put into me still being here. All these blood transfusions. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, BC? How you doing, brother? All these transfusions that I did, and all of the things that had to go into me still being here. I asked myself, like, why was so much done to keep me here? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, at least I can do is just spread the awareness about, the importance of blood to cancer patients. And that'd be my way of giving back, because I was given over 80 blood transfusions. And once you have cancer, you can't donate anything, right? You can't donate no blood. You can't donate any organs. You understand what I'm saying? I know you probably seen in one of those movies where somebody got bone from somebody with cancer, or some organ or something from somebody with cancer, and now they got cancer. Like, so once, you know what I'm saying, once you get diagnosed with cancer, you can't give nothing. You know what I'm saying? Except share your experiences, right? So, for so much to be given to me, you know what I'm saying? I'm just appreciative, and anybody knows me. Anything that's given to me, I try to give it right back, because to keep that energy going, to keep because that's what life that's what life needs in order for it to continue. Keep that wheel turning forward. So whatever is given to me, trust me, I'll be trying. I'm I try my hardest to give back. So this is this is my platform, and this is why I'm doing this, to try to give back for what much was given to me. And December, cancer came back again. I had to go through a whole different chemotherapy. Now I'm getting more blood, and like I said earlier, if I don't get this blood, I don't have the ability to make the cells. So slowly but surely, I will just disappear, literally. You understand what I'm saying? If I don't go get this blood 3 times a week, then I will not. I will cease to exist. This is how important blood. And it wasn't like this before, but it is what it is now. You know what I'm saying? So this is why, it's half the reason why I'm doing this, is to spread the awareness about the importance of blood donation, and especially to cancer patients, right? So you know, I lost my train of thought, but I got to get that out there, because that is the most important thing at the moment, is blood donation. And now that I'm going into this phase of getting bone marrow transplant, guess what? Now I got to spread the awareness about a bone marrow transplant, because somebody's, you know what I'm saying, is giving their immune system. Somebody's donating their stem cells to me. And I know, and that's not as easy as giving somebody blood. You gotta take medications before and after, and you know what I'm saying, get yourself ready, and you know it's a lot goes into it. And I'm just appreciative for everything, you know what I'm saying, that's being given to me. So, you know, also we gotta start advocating for, you know what I'm saying, bone marrow donations and things of that nature. But this is a start, and God willing, I'm gonna be here. You know what I'm saying, to continue to spread the awareness and just, you know, continue to shed a light on cancer and how you can come back from it. You know, no matter, you know what I'm saying. I can't really say no matter, you know what I'm saying, but just my personal experience. My personal experience was not easy, but you know what I'm saying, I'm still here. And that just, you know what I'm saying, that just goes to show you that it can be difficult at times, but you know, whether it be, you know, your own mindset that gets you through it, or it be family or whatever it takes, is gonna take a lot, but it's very possible to, you know what I'm saying, defeat cancer. And like I said, this is why we're here. And I plan on being here for a while, man. So, you know what I'm saying, y'all gonna see a whole lot of me. Y'all gonna see, you know, prayerfully, y'all gonna see this everywhere. We're gonna go out there and we're gonna spread the awareness about blood donation and get a lot more people to donate blood. Currently, I think 70% of blood donors are Caucasian. All right, think about that. 70% of all blood donation comes from somebody that's Caucasian. Right, so you know what's inside me is what's inside me, and you know I'm thankful for that. You know, so you know I think it's about 3%, 3% of the black community donates blood, and I want to see if I can have an effect on that. So you know what I'm saying, more and more people can participate in these blood donations. You know what I'm saying, because I think it's necessary. I think we should at least, you know, represent what we represent. To be 13% of the population, I think we should at least be 13% of everything. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel about it. So, but you know what I'm saying? Being thankful, like you can't see color. Like cancer doesn't see color. Cancer don't see color. Cancer don't see money. I don't care how rich you are. You can't not, like, you know what I'm saying, your money doesn't stop cancer from entering your home or taking you out. You know what I'm saying? Your money don't stop that. So cancer doesn't see color or money. We just gotta come together and defeat it. People with cancer uniting with the people that don't have cancer, you know what I'm saying, in order for the future, you know, so we won't be exposed to it. And yeah, BC. I appreciate the love, man. And that's what I'm doing, man. Consistently. I try to be on here 3 times a week. Like I said, sometimes I'm either at the cancer center till 8 o'clock getting treatment, or and you know I don't have the energy level to you know what I'm saying, to do an hour on here. But whenever I do, I'm here trying to spread the news and trying to, you know, advocate for blood donation, anything you could think of cancer related. You know what I'm saying? Doing your blood work, getting tested. You know what I'm saying? I spoke to a friend of mine a couple of days ago, and I'm like, yo, you make sure you get your blood work, you make sure you're getting tested. Like, yeah, I do that every chance I get. So you know, we gotta, you know, be on our friends. We gotta, you know, be on our family members to make sure they do these things. You know what I'm saying? Make sure they go into the doctor. You know, you feel a pain, don't wait until, oh, I'm just gonna wait for the pain to go away. Like that is not 2025. We don't do that in 2025. You call up the doctor and you go get an appointment and get checked out. We don't sit around with pains anymore. That was back in the 90s, or probably even before that. We're not doing that anymore. We're not sitting down with pain and just hoping that it goes away, because I did that. And the reason I did that because I was in good health. And I know I was in good health because if not, the side effects from getting cancer and chemo would have damaged much more of my organs. But I haven't dealt with any issues till recently. So it doesn't matter how healthy you are, you know what I'm saying? You can still You can still get diagnosed. You know what I'm saying? Cancer can still creep up on you without you even knowing. What'd you say, BC? That's the wrong move to wait until whatever concerning pain and sickness. Yeah, yeah, man. You can't wait around, man. We gotta do better. We gotta be a better example for our kids. You know what I'm saying? That's another reason why I do this, is to set an example for my kids of what I expect. You know what I'm saying? Of my son, especially when she get to a certain age, he got to make sure he's up and up, and he's already he's me 2.0, so he's already aware of everything, and he's doing what I'm saying as much as he can to make sure his health is in the right place. But we got to come together and help each other out. People with cancer, people without cancer, we got to come together and figure this thing out. There's a lot of new technology that's available. There's a lot of new treatments, immunotherapy. There's a lot of things that's going into cures and finding new things, because right now, if my cancer do come back, there's a whole nother chemo regimen that's already ready and planned to go in place if the cancer does return. So, being positive and having and being aware of what's going on and where you're at. You know what I'm saying? And some cancers are harder to treat than others, but you know you just gotta try to get to it as soon as possible. So this is what this channel is about: is spreading the awareness, trying to educate people. You might not even never heard, because literally growing up, even when I'm in my 30s, I'm like, I ain't got to worry about cancer or anything like that till I'm like 70, 80. Like, what I'm saying? That's like far from it. But, what I'm saying? It snuck up on me. So you just have to be aware of what's going on and make sure you know what I'm saying, you get a look on the inside to make sure the inside is working well. Because I don't care who you are, your money, none of that matters. Color, none of that matters. You know what I'm saying? None of that matters. You have to believe what I'm telling you. You have to consistently get your checkup, get your blood work, get your urine tested. You know what I'm saying? To see if you got prostate cancer. Like, these things is a must, especially in my community. Prostate cancer is very high risk, so that's like that's mandatory. And I know a couple men. You know what I'm saying? That are dealing with prostate cancer. You know what I'm saying? But one of the things that helped me in my journey, and I hope that I'm doing that for somebody else, when I see somebody that is dealing with cancer or have dealt with cancer 5, 10, 15 years ago, come on, for somebody like me, that give me like crazy hope to think that, okay, that's gonna be me. You understand what I'm saying? That's gonna be me 5, 10 years from now. Um, saying that, I dealt with this and I dealt with that and I'm still here. You know what I'm saying? So for my friends, you know who you are, that is dealing with certain things at the moment, much love and respect for you guys for fighting and continuing to fight, and you know what I'm saying, and being a part of my group so I can see, what's going on and use you guys as an example. But like I said, when I first got diagnosed, it was kind of hard listening to anybody else talk about how you doing, and you know what I'm saying. But my neighbor, you know what I'm saying, he went through cancer, and before I even knew that he had cancer, I seen him. This man was active, like super active, riding his bike every week or every other day, riding a bike. Like, you know what I'm saying? You would not have thought that this man had cancer. But you know what I'm saying? He opened up to me when he found out that I had cancer. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Even after he went through it, he was, you know what I'm saying, super active and kept, kept himself busy. And I was like, okay, so that can happen to me too. That's gonna be me. So likewise, that's why I'm sharing my situation and my experiences. So somebody that's newly diagnosed, or you know what I'm saying, have gone through it, whatever the case may be, but can take something from me to help them, you know what I'm saying, or to help a family member or a friend, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just the people that have the cancer, it's also the the family. Because I always think about this, like, if something happened to me, I'm not gonna be here anymore. But my mother, my father, my wife, my kids, they're gonna still be here, and they're gonna have to deal with me not being here. So can you imagine what that's gonna do to them? You know what I'm saying? And they gotta deal with it every day. I won't have to worry about that anymore. You know what I'm saying? I mean, meaning if I'm not here, that would not come to mind. But by them still being around, they're gonna think about it probably almost every day. So, if you're not going through this by yourself. It's not just affecting you. It's affecting your family and it's affecting your friends as well. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, having that good support system is very important. It's very important for you and for your family as well. So, you know, if this doesn't if this information doesn't directly correlate to you, maybe you have a friend that might be going through it. Maybe you have a friend that has a family member that's going through it. 'Cause I just went on Facebook not too long ago, and a friend of mine um, is dealing with cancer in their family, and it's gonna come, man. Sad to say that it's gonna come. Based on the numbers, 1 in 3. You know, uncle or grandparents are like it's gonna come. And the older you are, the more you're gonna get exposed to things like that, and the more of your friends are gonna get exposed to that. More your family member is gonna get exposed to cancer. So hopefully, this information can help you deal with it. You know what I'm saying? As it happens, and you able to share this information with somebody else. You know what I'm saying, to help them. With their situation. What you say, BC? Fight strong, brother warrior, and continue to encourage others to put their health first. Yes, sir. And I didn't see myself as a health advocate a couple years ago. All I used to do was I was a day trader. I traded options on the stock market. You know what I'm saying? And boom, out of nowhere, cancer just hit me. So I had to make a trade of trading and stop trading and learning more about me, my cancer, my situation, and here I am today. Basically a advocate for these things. And trust me, I don't mind doing it because, like I said, much was given to me and continuously every day. You know what I'm saying? Much is still given to me on a daily basis. And this is my way of giving back. This is my way of repaying, you know what I'm saying? Or, those people that sacrifice their time and their blood, you know what I'm saying? So I could still be here today. So, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot to deal with at times, but because of my family, because of my friends, you know what I'm saying? Like BC, my son, my wife, everybody continuously encourage me, and you know what I'm saying, they try to keep me posted. They try to keep me going. You know what I'm saying? And hey, it means a lot. And that's why this podcast is called Transfer of Energy. I'm sorry, Energy Transfer. Is because that's how important it is. That's how important it was to me. You know what I'm saying? To feel that energy from somebody 1,000 miles away. You know what I'm saying? In whatever country. And hear their voice and kind of like pick up off the energy and like, okay, you know what I'm saying, and keep me going and keep me motivated. And in the meantime, I just want to say thank you to everybody that watches these lives or the replay. There's people in Canada, England, at South Africa, Trinidad, Jamaica, here in the U.S. There's a lot of people that's consuming his content, and I'm very appreciative, and I'm hoping that this makes a difference. And not even hoping, I know it will. I know it will because the engagement that I'm getting is obvious that I'm saying, people are listening, people are tuning in, and it is making a difference. So you know what I'm saying, we're not saying that we're gonna rid the world of cancer, or we can stop it, but we can definitely manage it in a way where it doesn't defeat us. You know what I'm saying? Or we, at the end of the day, we come out, I'm saying, on a stronger side. And, all of that, like I said, is through early detection. You know what I'm saying? Early detection. That's why we're here. Remind you guys, early detection. Get yourself checked out. Make sure you know what's going on in your body. As we get older, we get exposed to more and more things that can cause cancer, and not only cancer, hypertension, diabetes, and these things can affect you getting cancer because it's all in the system. Once the system is off balance, then something else is gonna happen, and something else is gonna happen, and that one cell or two cell that's supposed to die or get terminated, it doesn't, and now it starts multiplying over and over and over again. So being aware of what's going on, you know what I'm saying, being conscious is very, very important. Um, so what'd you say? What'd you say, BC? I apologize for not tuning in more. Kindergarten Madhouse is a bit more busy now. We're about to change over the equipment to cooling season soon. Okay. Hey man, that's no problem, man. You're here today. That's all that matters is you're here tuning in today. You know what I'm saying? Getting this content. And you're a part of what I'm trying to do. You're one of the main people in a part of this network, because we're the Cancer Silent Killer Awareness Network. Right? You're part of this network, and you've done a lot to help me along the way, BC. Just know that. And there's a lot more things that we have planned, you know what I'm saying, to promote, you know what I'm saying, the awareness, to help spread the awareness. So, you know what I'm saying, I look forward to that. Like, that's one of my main things is, you know what I'm saying. I tried multiple different ways to try to spread the awareness. But it seems like the easiest way and the best way to not expose myself to, you know what I'm saying, what's outside of my, you know what I'm saying, what's outside in the world, is hop on this live, you know what I'm saying, and share my situation. You know what I'm saying? So this is why I'm doing it. This is the majority of the reason. 99% of why I'm doing it is to spread that awareness. Like I said, I never thought this would be what I'm doing in 2025, but you know, you never know what the future holds for you. And I do feel like I'm a better person for taking the time out to educate myself about something like, as impacting as cancer, because of my level of education, I can help a lot of people. I could, you name it. Yeah, and I have helped a lot of people just by talking to them. And not online, but in real life, just by having a conversation, just by sharing my story and listening to another person's story about their fight with cancer and what they've been going through. And years upon years, 10, 20 years can go by sometimes, and the cancer might come back, or something else might happen. You know what I'm saying? So we just got to understand that we gotta still be there for each other. We gotta help each other. This is about togetherness. It's about unity. Like I said, if all the blood donations were not made, you know what I'm saying, out of the kindness of your heart, I would not be here today. So I just want to thank everybody, you know what I'm saying, for continuously tuning in, you know what I'm saying, and hopefully, prayfully, that this information is making a difference in your life and is impacting you in a positive way. Go get checked out. Go get your family and friends checked out. Get everybody on the same page. You know what I'm saying? Because it's 2025. It's a lot. And to me, I think now is the best time to be alive. Right? I'm an '80s baby. Grew up in the '90s. Early 2000s was fun for me. But 2025, I think it's the best time to be alive because of everything that's available, all the technology, you know what I'm saying, everything. So can you imagine what 26, 29, 30 is going to be like 2040? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be around to see all of that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm especially trying to be around to see my kids, you know what I'm saying, um, ascend in life and see what they make of themselves. And you know what I'm saying? To see my grandbaby grow up. And also, the rest of my family. I got nieces and nephews that was just born a couple months ago. You know what I'm saying? So, life goes on, man. Life goes on. It's going to continue to go on. And I'm trying to be here. I missed out on the last couple of years because I had to deal with all of this. But trust me, man, I'm looking forward to the future. I'm looking forward to what the future has, you know what I'm saying, to offer me specifically. But I'm just, technology is a mug. AI and robotics and all this kind of other stuff. Like, it's crazy what's going on in the world. But, for me, it's fun. You know what I'm saying? So I just, want you to have the same mindset of looking forward to, what I'm saying, the good things to come and just being very appreciative. And, good things is still happening. There's still good people out there. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of negativity everywhere you look, but there's still a lot of good people out there that's doing great things. And I just want to say shout out to the doctors, shout out to all of the nursing students. You know what I'm saying? My daughter, she's one of them. Shout out to all of the everybody that's you know what I'm saying, the scientists. Shout out to everybody that's continuously trying to make the future, trying to make this place a better place for us, man. Shout out to all of y'all. And so we're gonna end this live. Today's Wednesday, the 7th. God willing, I will be back here Friday night. You know what I'm saying? I'm sharing some more, you know what I'm saying, what's going on in my world and how I'm dealing with cancer. You know what I'm saying? How I'm surviving, what's going on, everything, basically, everything that's going on in my cancer world. To see if I can help and make change for somebody else. So, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. And like I said, everybody that watches this recap or live, man, thank y'all, man. All over the world, we got people tuning in and learning about cancer, learning about what causes it, learning about how to treat it, learning about how to identify it. You know what I'm saying? So thank you for tuning into Cancer Silent Killer Awareness Network. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. I'll see y'all Friday. Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. You know what I'm saying? Much love.